Okay, so this is the continuation of interracial dating. This is part two, featuring Dr. Umar Johnson.
Okay? How can you fight white supremacy sleeping with its daughters?
Interesting that you would say something like that. Actually, very easily. As I said in part one, the seed travels through the man. So if quote unquote black men are sleeping with black women, you are implanting within their seed black seed. Now we all know that black is the dominant. We have the dominant features, and that's another reason why a lot of these quote unquote European scientists and eugenics scientists try to freaking get rid of quote unquote black people and try to start Aryan race and try to make it so that way we don't intermingle because they know that we have the power to literally wipe them out. Wipe them out. Take your freaking blonde hair, blue eye girl, right? And then you get her with a quote unquote black dude, and then your beloved blonde hair and blue eyes, those jeans and that freaking milk skin is not gonna be there in that baby. It's not gonna be there. Well, the odds are that it's not gonna be there. So that's one generation, 2 generations, you won't even know. And again, now that goes back to self-preservation. And self-preservation is very simple. People want to preserve self. It's natural. Natural. Freaking viruses do it. Animals do it. They want to survive. It's natural. So I don't have any problem with people wanting to survive. I get it. If people say I don't want my kids to quote unquote date black, and then they say, hey, because I want my grandkids to look like me. I can't sit here and say that I would have a problem with someone saying that. First and foremost, they spoke what's on their mind, and that's what I want everyone to do. Speak what the fuck's on your mind. Number two, it's the truth. It's the truth. We literally would wipe them the fuck out. So this guy's talking about, how are we going to fight white supremacy? Actually, this is a great way to fight white supremacy if you want to be fucking technical about it. Because it's not like the opposite happens. It's not like, you sleep with a quote unquote white woman and the baby comes out, not looking black at all. Like, oh my God, like you're literally trying to wipe us out, because you're freaking helping and producing more quote unquote white kids. When actually it's the opposite that's happening. So, come on, Omar.
How can you fight white supremacy sleeping with its daughters?
I just went over that, dude. Just went over that.
It is a deeply embarrassing thing for little black girls to have to pass grown black men committed to non-African women. It engenders in our daughters a self-hate, an insecurity, a self-insufficiency. It generates low self-esteem. In fact, let me go.
Okay, so no. There's many things wrong with that, Omar. First and foremost, if a little black girl, right, who has a mother and father, who we're gonna say they are quote unquote black, this little black girl sees another black woman or another black man with a white woman, right? Even let's just say her father. No. Yeah, no. So she sees another black man with a white woman, right? That's going to freaking psychologically damage her. No, wanna know why? Because that's just not going to happen. And number two, if she has her family, she sees a man and a woman, and if they are doing things correctly, the mother and father, and raising these kids up the right way, then there won't be a problem at all. Because she already sees a shining example. And she's going to be reassured in who she is and her beauty by her parents and by her father. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Now let's say, hey, the man that is that is with the white woman is her father. Like the father left the mother for the white man. I mean, the father left the mother for the white woman, right? Now, you might say, oh, see, but yeah, now that could damage her. That could damage her. Look. Anytime there's a divorce, that can damage the kid. The father could have left the woman for another quote unquote black woman. That's still gonna damage her. You know, she's still gonna look at her mom and be like, "Oh, mommy wasn't good enough." You know, and he left us, so then I'm not good enough by extension. Then that'll so happen if the father chooses to just leave like that. But even if he leaves, but he still could keeps up a relationship with his child, i.e., the daughter, and the mother doesn't try to freaking and plant and these like insidious thoughts inside of the daughter to hate the father, then they'll have those open lanes of communication, and then she'll understand, and then he will still explain to her that you are my daughter and I love you and you are beautiful, and things didn't work out with me and your mother because of X, Y, and Z, yada 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 yada. So this guy over here again just making goddamn excuses and putting batteries in the back of these goddamn liberal black women. Like enough is enough, man. Like you're just making shit up.
Step further. Let me go a step further.
Please do.
A black girl seeing a black man love up on a non-African woman has a more detrimental effect on the black girl's psyche than a white Barbie doll.
Says who? Says you? You're just making shit up, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on. You're not citing no studies, no nothing, but you're supposed to be a goddamn doctor. You're just talking right now, bro. And you're not making no sense. You're just flapping your gums on some simp shit.
Let me say it again. A black girl seeing a black man love up on a non-African woman is more detrimental to the psyche of black girls and black teens and black adolescent female children than a white Barbie doll. Because with the white Barbie doll, she don't see a black man loving up on a white Barbie doll. But when she sees a black man loving up on a white woman, that Barbie doll has now been validated by the men of her own race. It's as if you took the Barbie doll out of Walmart, you took it out of Target, you took it out of Kitty City, you took it out of a Qinghai Wok, the Chinese knockoff shop, and you brought it to life and you fell in love with it. Now, how are our daughters supposed to stop loving up on Barbie dolls? How are we supposed to get black girls to stop playing with Barbie dolls when her father is in love with a living Barbie doll? How do we change that?
What? This nigga, yo, he doing close-ups with the phone and everything. Nigga, what the fuck are you talking about? Barbie dolls, bro. That has nothing to do with the psyche of the fucking the girl. Okay, like I literally just went over all of this, dude. I just went over all of it. Okay, that's not the case at all. You're hyperbolizing all of this shit, man. It's ridiculous.
How do we change that? And don't tell me that black women are gold diggers.
Yeah, some are.
Don't tell
Many are.
me that. Tiger Woods' ex-wife is a multi-millionaire. When he found her, she was a nanny. Now she's one of the richest women in the United States.
There's many black women that have done the same thing Tiger Woods' wife did. So I don't understand like where you're going.
Don't tell me black women are gold diggers.
And I'm not gonna tell you that they're not either.
Don't tell me black women are gold diggers. All these white women divorcing these black men. Okay?
What about all the black women that divorce the black men? What about all the black women that try to compete with the black men on a daily basis? What about all the black women that don't get married because they don't want to actually be responsible and get off government welfare, huh? So they'll have these black men's kids, and then put them on child support. Don't get me wrong, a lot of these niggas ain't doing shit anyway, and they shouldn't be getting these women pregnant. But like, hey man, since we're having this dialogue, Umar, what about them?
Don't tell me black women are gold diggers. Listen to me. No black woman will ever get more money than a white woman in divorce court. Can I say this again? Let me say this again. Let me say this again for you Negroes. No black woman will ever get more money than a white woman in divorce court.
Now, I'm not sure about that. And I don't know. I don't I don't know much about divorce court proceedings, broken down by demographics. I'm not sure if this nigga does either, but I can't speak on that. But if I was to guess, would I be surprised? No, we live in a white society, so I could see them giving more to the quote unquote white woman. But at the end of the day, like, what does that mean though? You're saying that to say what?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Let me open up my juice for a minute.
This nigga is in the hotel room opening up a juice, he said. That I could have sworn he just had it in his hand. I don't know why he had to get up to open it.
Okay. All right. So we gonna deal with this today. You know, and don't get me wrong. Most of the brothers who have sent me questions about interracial marriage and dating have come at me in a very respectable way. I want to be sure we clear. Most brothers who have sent me questions have been respectful. Some of them have been non-respectful.
Disrespectful?
Some of them have been non-respectful.
Disrespectful,
my
nigga? Disrespectful?
Self-hate is a part of being an African in the 21st century. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So number one, it is financial betrayal. Number two,
yeah, we heard that. Yeah.
It is psychologically damaging to black women.
Okay, and
number three.
All right, so just not so we're clear. Number 1 and 2, I already deflated both of them. So anyway, moving on.
It neutralizes your participation in Pan-African revolutionary struggle at the highest level. Let me repeat that.
Yeah, this nigga.
It neutralizes your participation in the Pan-African revolutionary struggle.
I can't with this dude.
At the highest level. There is no way in hell.
I can't.
There is no way in hell you're going to tell me that you can be 100% committed to the Pan-African revolutionary struggle. And after you fight white supremacy, you go home and love up on one of its daughters.
All right, so let me say this. First and foremost, I'm not a Pan-Africanist. Secondly, I'm not a Pan-Africanist because I don't agree with it. Look, I have a lot of respect for Marcus Garvey, what he stood for, and what he was trying to do. I think he was a very righteous man. Not taking anything away from him because, I'm not saying he started the Pan-African movement, but he was definitely a big proponent of it. He was a big figure of it. But look, for instance, AOP, America's Original People, FBA, Foundational Black Americans, Aboriginal people of America, quote unquote black people. Okay, all these different quote unquote black Aboriginals all across the goddamn globe. Right? There's Aboriginal people in Tasmania, in New Zealand, in Australia to this day. To this day, there's Aboriginal people that will be considered quote unquote black, people of color, everywhere, right? But you wouldn't see me calling these people my cousin or saying that, hey man, we gotta stick together because, we look alike. You wouldn't hear me saying that because we're not the same. We're not the same group of people, right? Now, what the Pan African movement tries to do is say everyone under this umbrella, everyone that looks like me, no matter where you are, like we're all black, and that's the Pan African movement, and we all need to move as one. But no, that's not how it works, man. And also think about it. We're all like of the diaspora. We're all over, right? We're all over. Like I said, there's Aboriginal people that were in South America, Central America, North America, literally even in Asia, Southeast Asia, every goddamn where you can find it, quote unquote black people. Okay, but to try to unify us all takes away of our history, our independent history, because we all have a shared history, and that does come from Africa. But you know who else comes from Africa? The quote unquote white man too, because all human life started in Africa. So that means that the white man came from there too. At the very, 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 very end, like if you follow that line all the way back, it's going to go back to Africa at some point. So the Pan African movement excludes white people, but everyone else is in it. And I get it. You want to have your own group and be, you know, exclusively for you. I get that, but you can't go around telling everybody that's quote unquote black that we're all the same and we need to be doing all the same thing. That's just not the case. So no, I'm not a Pan Africanist, and I'm not really for that mindset, that ideology. There's just too much history and all throughout the diaspora for that. Look at Africa itself. Look at the different countries in Africa. Within one country in Africa, there's freaking thousands of different tribes that are not the same, and they've been fighting for years. Some of them, for hundreds of years, they're not the same. They don't. They do things differently, and that's in the same goddamn geographic area. But now you want to talk about across different land masses? Like, come on, no.
That is the greatest contradiction I can think of. I love black people, but I'm in love with white people. Explain that to me.
Well, look, you can love your quote unquote people, like, right? You can love your people, and then you can be quote unquote in love with a a woman of a different race. Yes. Does that mean that you're in love with the whole fucking race? No. But you see, you can't fall for the okie doke. Like this person right here, every single word he said is true about our brothers. No, that's not true, my man.
I love black people, but I'm in love with white people. You got a white mother-in-law, white father-in-law, white cousins.
I have a white mother-in-law, white brother-in-law, white cousins-in-law. Yeah, I do.
Law. You got to spend time around them. You got to act like you like these white people for the sake of your marriage.
See, no. I'm not acting. I do like these people. I do. And does that mean that I love my people less? No. See, but this is what happens when you subscribe to this black and white bullshit, that duality. Like, if one goes up, the other one must go down. If I love this one, then I have to hate that one. It doesn't work like that, man.
See, what I don't understand, we are subjected to white supremacy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you walk out of your house, you are inundated with white power, economic, political, militaristic, media, institutional, legal white supremacy, and so forth and so on. I'm trying to understand, how do you keep peace of mind when you come home and your house is also controlled by white supremacy?
Well, my house isn't controlled by white supremacy. So, again, this is real simple shit, man. I don't know I don't know what's in that drink this nigga's drinking, man.
Because one thing you need to understand about power, one thing a lot of black men dating white women, Arabs, Chinese, Mediterranean, Southern European, Okay? Because none of you are exempt. I'm talking about all of you. I'm not just talking about the brothers with the white woman. If your wife does not have an African parent, she is not African. I'm going to be clear. If she does not have an African parent, she is not African.
If she doesn't have an African father, she's not African.
Now, for my biracial sisters, you're African until you prove otherwise. You got an African father, white mother, African mother, white father. It's not your fault for how you got here. You're African. But just because you have a white father or white mother does not give you the right to go out and perpetuate the dysfunctional relationship patterns of your parents. You are African like the rest of us, but you must identify and uphold the banner of unapologetically African woman.
See, and that's another thing that the Pan-Africanists do. He keeps saying, like, "Oh, you're African. You're African. If you're black, you're African." I'm like, no, not necessarily, man. Because again, some people were already here. Now, if you know the story, obviously you know that all life came from Africa. So yes, if that's what you're saying, then yes, I'm African. But everyone on the fucking planet will be African. But since you make a distinction and you don't include the white man in it, then you cannot sit here and say everyone. You're not saying everyone on the planet is African. You're saying everyone that's black is African. But there's blacks all over the place, and these people have not been in Africa for fucking thousands, tens of thousands of fucking years. So you can't just go around and go, oh well, you're black, you're African. It's very, that's actually very American to go around and tell people what the fuck they are. And that's very imperialistic.
Just as we expect all black men to uphold the banner of unapologetically African manhood. So
for instance, I can't do that because I'm not fucking African. You know what I mean? Like, do I know that the line comes from there? Yes, I do know that. But for me to sit here and call myself African, no, that's not a culture that I'm familiar with. I can't tell you how to be a fucking quote unquote African man.
Has a wife who's biracial, which is a term I don't even like to use because it was non-existent until.
Yeah, no, biracial is not real because I just told you it follows the seed of the man. So whatever the man is, that's what the son is. So if you have a quote unquote black male and a white woman and they have a child, that child is not biracial. The child is what the father is.
About 2 decades ago, with the rise of Mariah Carey, Barack Obama, Halle Berry, and all these self-hating Africans.
Self-hating Africans.
There's no such thing as biracial. It's nonsense. When 23 European chromosomes mixes with 23 African chromosomes, that's biracial, and she identifies, because if she's biracial and she don't identify, then as far as I'm concerned, you married a white woman. Let me say that again. You have a biracial wife who does not at all identify as being African, then you just married a cracker. Let me be clear. Because for me, it is not just anthropological and biological connection to.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He said for me, that's the thing. Umar, don't want to give a fuck about what the fuck you think about who the hell they should be dating or procreating with. Now, my only advice to people is procreate with people that you know. Get to know them before you do it. And obviously, like I said, it follows the seed line follows the man. So yes, a man can lay down with a quote unquote Caucasian. That's all fine and dandy. But if a woman or black woman were to do that, no, it's not the same. It's not the same. And they shouldn't do that. And I know we live in a time where people go, oh, it's not fair that, you're saying that men and we're not the same. We're not equal. That's just the reality of it. I'm not even going to go back and forth with that. That's it. But you know what? This video is going on pretty long. I don't even think it's necessary to get to number 4, number 5 of what this nigga got to say because he's just talking out of his goddamn ass. And at the end of the day, I think I've hammered my point home fairly well. It's yeah. I think, man, someone might have hurt this fan. You know what I'm saying? When he was growing up or whatever, maybe he got dumped by a white chick, and now he hates him. I don't know, but anyway, that's it on that. Peace.